Well, hi there. Today's a snow day, so I'm going to do a snow painting. And I know I've been doing a lot of time lapses, but I felt like today was a really good day to start a long recorded painting. So I'm going to get started with my paint palette. So this is the image that I'm going to paint today. Clearly there's a lot of yellows and cyan and some dark Prussian blues, and of course some white and even a little bit of burgundy in there. Right, so here's the paint palette. Obviously I have a lot of titanium white for the snow. I'm gonna be breaking it off of different little pieces of white to mix with other colors. I have the ultralight cadmium yellow, yellow ochre. This one is called Madder Lake Deep. And then I have ultramarine blue, Prussian blue, and what's this one called? I use it a lot. It's cerulean blue. It's, I think, a burnt umber and a burnt sienna. And that should be it for our colors. I have a pink background. I originally had a darker background, but I decided that with the pinks I wanted to pop through the snow, that I wanted a pink underpainting to help me. As you can see out there, we have the snow today, so it's a perfect day to start the snow painting. So let's get started. First, I'm going to start sketching out my composition on the underpainting. I'm probably going to use a light oil pastel to help me with that. So for this section, I wanted to do a speed up of my sketching. Something happened with my camera and didn't record it properly. So here we are. I'm sketching the outline of my composition. I'm starting with the horizon line and the house. Now I'm refining the edges and some of the shadow areas. I'm also pointing out where I know I want to put my darker trees. Now the door. Oh, here we are again. I'm putting in the final touches with the windows and the doors and trees, as well as some background hills and mountains and brush. Okay. It's a bit darker than I wanted. Okay. Now, oil paint, when you add it, is very translucent, so a lot of the pink is showing through. So I will clearly have to do a couple layers to get the effect of bright snow that I'm eventually going to want for this painting. Right now, the mid-tone light cyan blue is exactly what I wanted. I love how the pink is showing through. And that is my goal for the moment, but I know I'll be adding those brighter whites a little later. Over here now I'm grabbing just from my pure white section of my palette because I don't want the blue. I feel like I got enough on my brush already. And plus with the blue oil pastel, that certainly helps with getting those mid-tones in. One of the reasons I do like using oil pastels for my underdrawing. Okay. Go ahead and jump in, grab some of those white fields. Things get too clumpy in one spot, I definitely like to move it around as well. I know I'm painting over the trees, but I know where the trees are going to go because of having drawn them. So I just want a continuous flow for the brush for the snow behind the trees, if that makes sense. Been a while since I dipped in my linseed oil. So anyways, while you guys are watching me, I'd love to hear from you. If you have any experiences with painting oils that you want to share, frustrations you've run into, techniques similar to what I'm using that you guys really like, or it's techniques that are very different from what you see me using that you like. I'd love to start a discussion about that. By the way, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can see more of my videos, whether it's my longer videos like this painting is, or my time-lapse ones, which I also love to do. I don't know if you guys saw, I am doing a painting of the week for the whole year of 2003. Today's doesn't really count. Today's an extra. Today is a snow day painting, and I'm just throwing it in there on my account because I can. Ooh, now I'm going to add some ultramarine because it's time to get some depth in that snow. Because, you know, you can only do so much one level of white, and then it gets a little boring. You gotta add something in, a little pop of color. Oh my God, I felt like that just channeled Bob Ross right there. Wow. Throw in that little pop of color. Any happy trees out there, folks? Happy trees, happy trees. Haven't gotten to the happy trees yet? Guess we're gonna need to get to those soon, huh? All right, ooh, blue right here. I feel like many artists go astray with snow in that they just try to make everything white or gray, because gray is often thought of as the darker version of white, but oftentimes, depending on what's around it, it reflects the colors that are around it. And if there's a blue sky out, it's reflecting the blue sky. Or if it's a dark, dreary sky or stormy sky, those are the colors it reflects. And I love seeing those colors in the snow as well. That's why the pinks and the blues, especially the electric blues and cyans, are really what draw me to these paintings. Go. Okay. You can see where the oil thinned out the white here, and so the pink is really showing through on that part of the snow bank. All right. Snow here. Okay. Throw a little bit of that in the sky, just because I'm trying to hit all my values for the moment. And tree line, just right here. Now it's time to switch brushes for a little bit. Oh, no, I want to get the side of that house first. The side of that house is definitely a sharp cyan. I'm going to show you here real quick. So what I'm doing now is I'm going for this cyan block of the house next. I've done as much of the snow as I can get, including the snow hills here and some of the horizon line light blues. So now I'm going for the side of the house. Okay, hope that's dark enough. Again, gonna add some more oil because it's not flowing as smoothly across the wood panel as I would like. So the other thing I love to do to get inspiration for these paintings is go and do a drive about during the winter, of course with all-wheel drive so that nobody gets stuck on the road. I don't like getting stuck on the side of the road. No flat tires, no sliding into ditches, nothing like that. That's no fun. But that being said, I do really like going out and seeing all the colors and the scenery with the snow, especially with the old barns and farmhouses. That's kind of how I got this one. This one was at a sunrise, so that's why the front of the house is so bright. While I do love to do plein air, I am not one of those who likes to go out and do it in the winter. So I do go out and get photos for my paintings, or I find things in the studio to paint, like my still lifes, and so on. Okay, I think I am happy with the side of the house. So now I'm going to add some of that cyan up in the cloud area, because that'll be my next area that I'm going to tackle, is the sky. That way I can stick with the same brush and the same palette area before I switch over to my pinks and whatnot. Okay, one of my trees. Getting close to them. Don't really want to block it out though. A little bit of Prussian blue now in with the cerulean. I've been using the cerulean to make my cyan colors, but for that stormier sky I want Prussian blue, so that's why I got the Prussian blue out on my palette. It gives more foreboding colors as opposed to the playful, brighter color of cerulean and ultramarine. Oh, right now it just kind of looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? I feel like I just need to get some color down and then I can start playing and getting really into the details. So I'm going to try to go as fast as I can here. I'm just gonna go over where the trees are. I'll have to remember where they are later. I don't like having the sky feel choppy. I would much rather have the sky behind it feel smooth. And let it dry some if I must before adding. Oh, I hate it when I get those little particles. Okay, we're gonna get that one off the brush. The canvas there. There we go. Obviously, when you're doing plein air, it's a lot harder to plan around the drying of certain layers before you can add more on with oil, because oil is so wet and it takes such a long time to dry. So it's definitely something you kind of have to plan out. Ahead of time when you're out in the field and you only given yourself 3 to 4 hours to paint. This is going to take a little longer, and there will probably be a couple different recording sessions with it, but I'm okay with that. If it means getting it right, that's what we'll do. Yeah, there we go. I knew I wanted that darker brush. There we go. Really wanted this section right here on the left-hand side of the house to be the more foreboding part of the clouds. That's why I'm trying to get that darker tone in at the beginning. There we go. Yeah, I could go for a bigger brush, but I find sometimes when I'm wanting to get these nuances and colors that the bigger brush inhibits that, and then I end up just using 2 brushes anyways, so better to use kind of a medium-sized brush. That'll get me there eventually anyhow. And of course then you have to get the movement of the sky in. That's not always easy. Almost there. Okay. And a little bit of there. Right. Not to waste any paint. Alrighty then. Don't breathe the sky. You know what? I think it's time for one more layer of the white titanium. And then we'll get started on some details. Dun, dun. Okay. So now what we have to do, I'm going to get a new brush, smaller brush. So before I was using this brush for both the sky and the snow. I just kept cleaning it off when needed. But now I'm going to do the front of the house. And the front of the house is like a yellowish white, which is why I have the ultralight cadmium yellow. And I'm going to cut some white out over here. And start blending it to get that yellow. I will say I do most of my blending with my brush, but for this, because I want it to be quite right with the ultra cadmium yellow reflection on the front of the house, I'm going to go ahead and use my palette knife. All right, done with that for the moment. Very, very slight touch of yellow. It's almost like a lemon frosting. There we go. Perfect. I want it to be a little thicker because I'm not wanting as much of the paint to show through. Yeah, I'm going ahead and painting over my windows. I'm okay with that. I did blend in a little bit with the blue oil pastel, but I can fix that later with a couple more layers of the white yellow paint. There we go. Bright white. Couple steps here. There we go. Getting there. Okay, starting to get there. Now, there we go. Just starting to get a hint of it. Now I want to switch brushes again because this is my yellow white brush. And I need one for pink white. I think we're gonna use this brush for my pink white. Don't need to do a lot with that. I'm just gonna grab a slab of that white titanium paint again. Grab a little pink. A little bit will go a long way. Of course, it helps underpainting is pink. You'll notice I don't just fill things in up and down or up and down or horizontally. I do try to go with the angle of the object. All right, again, paintbrushes strokes are directional purpose. That last corner in. And then we can work on what else is pink. Okay. I do want to scrape a little window away. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. It's a little like plastic scraper tool. I love it. Allows me to draw in the paint. And sometimes I can add a little detail in. A little easier. Don't have to quite wait for that section to dry quite as much. Things like that. And scrape away where the chimneys would be. And over here. Looks like I need to clean off the scraper. This also gives me a good idea of how dry certain areas are, whether or not I can paint on them yet. Go. Easier for the tree lines. They look a little more reddish just because of the sunrise. Get some white in there. But right now I think we're just going to block it in. And so this is where I start mixing the warm and the cool colors. So for the trees, you know, I start off with the brown and the burnt sienna and the burnt umber, but then I start adding a bit of Prussian blue to get that really dark shade in it. And I'm sorry if I'm starting to sound a little bit of a picking up of a Irish accent. I just watch Banshees of Innisfree the most depressing, hilarious, and probably completely accurate portrayal of the nonsense of the Irish. And I can say that because of my ancestry, and there's certainly quite a bit of nonsense in my family. I swear I didn't know whether to laugh or cry watching it, which I feel like that might have been what the movie maker was going for. And I'm not quite sure what that says about us as a group of people. We're either completely screwed, or maybe we haven't figured out. I don't know. If you're trying to stay out of the dark spirits, though, I definitely, you don't want a black moon. I'm not sure I would watch it because it was still very heavy. Do you guys watch movies or listen to music while you paint? I find that it helps my brain to focus, oddly enough. Even though some may think of it as a distraction, for me, it helps. And that's why I keep the wood brush. Okay, so I have to go back and do a touch-up. Okay. Okay, getting there. And finally, some more white. Not finally. I will be doing a second round. I need to very clearly let some of this dry a little bit. Maybe grab a bite to eat. And then come back to it. If you're somebody who wants to work in the studio all day, sometimes it's good to switch over to another painting for a little bit and then come back to it. But with oils, as you know, I don't know. I think a hair dryer is probably not a good idea because I feel like it would ruin the paint. I've seen people do it, but it's not really my cup of tea. Might not ruin it in the short term, but usually long term. All right, where are we at? Okay, so I'm going to take a little break, grab some snacks, and I'll be back. And we're going to add trees and other bright things on here, but I feel like this is a really good start. And I hope you have enjoyed it so far. Please, well, this is the magic of film, right? We get to edit the break in and it'll feel like nothing.